Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angel Heart Radio. And I have something to share before we actually begin the show tonight. Bear with me one moment.
Angel Heart Radio programs should not be used to replace your legal or medical advice, nor your own sound judgment. In truth, nothing can dim your magnificence. You are a divine spark, a universal light. You are here on purpose. You are part of a divine plan, and it's our joy to support you. We're here to celebrate you. Welcome to Angel Heart Radio. Powered by love, Angel Heart Radio is brought to you by AngelLight777.com. Great news, everyone. Angel Heart Radio is now live streaming on our Facebook page, and we have a fully searchable, brilliant podcast platform for you at AngelHeartListen.com. Speaking with Angels with Teri Angel on Angel Heart Radio starts now.
Okay, so before I bring my wonderful guest on tonight, I want to share this message that the angels gave me to read at every one of my shows. Our angels are listening to our heart song. They hear our cries for help, our laughter, and our every need. When we reach out our hand, they take it under their wings to a place where only love resides. They wait patiently while we open our hearts to them. Will you open your heart tonight as they speak to you? Tonight, my guest is Kevin Lee, and I am so honored that he is joining us here on Angel Heart Radio. Kevin, I know that I have known you for a while, and I am so excited to sit and have a conversation with you. Kevin is a senior minister at the Metaphysical Church of South Florida. He's a life coach. He is one of the most warm and inviting people that I have encountered in this lifetime because he is so non judgmental. He just welcomes you, whoever you may be, whatever color, religion, belief. He is very non judgmental. And I have learned this about Kevin over the years. And when the opportunity came to ask Kevin to be on my show, I jumped at it. And I'm like, yeah, let's sit and have a good discussion. And that's what this is going to be tonight. It's going to be a discussion. So sit down, get something to drink to refresh you, and be ready to be blessed. Kevin Lee, welcome to Angel Heart Radio.
Hi, Miss Terry. Great to see you again. It's been a while.
Yes, it has been. I was at your church regularly
Mhm.
for the events that you hold there. And
Mhm.
then last year was a very traumatic year for me. So I have been away from any of the activities that were
Sure.
going on there.
We've
And I've
missed you.
missed you.
Yeah,
So
we
it's
missed you.
really good to see your face.
We missed you. We do a lot of events at the Metaphysical Chapel in
Hmm.
downtown Fort Lauderdale, and you were very instrumental in our psychic fairs and your attendance to many of our programs and Sunday programs, and so it was always a blessing when you would come in. It's been a while, but I am just delighted to be here with your viewers, your audience, and just to share a little bit about whatever comes up, whatever the angels have to say this evening. So thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Kevin, tell us about your ministry while I find us online and share
Sure.
this out so more people can come in and join with us.
Absolutely. So the Metaphysical Chapel of South Florida is in downtown Fort Lauderdale. We've been here in South Florida for 40 years, 41 years. And we're a community of light workers. We're a center of light. We evolved as an organization of churches. We have a sister church up in Lake Worth, Florida, which is about 40 minutes north of us. And then also we have a system of churches, a denomination of churches expanding from Michigan all the way down to Florida. And our mother church, the United Metaphysical Churches, is in Roanoke, Virginia, beautiful valley. And that's where our seminary program is that I was formally ordained in. It's a 4-year seminary program. And also they have certification programs for the healing ministry and also mediumship to become a medium. So these are wonderful programs that the church system has offered. I feel incredibly blessed that Spirit guided me there because it was an incredible stepping stone and platform in not my life to prepare me really to be who I am today. Because I certainly wouldn't be anywhere close to who I am today if it was not for my church system, the programs, the trainings, and just really spirit entering my life. Which is interesting. I wasn't born with my gifts wide open. I had no clue most of this even existed, uh, and through crazy spiritual experiences, I found the Metaphysical Chapel in a little tiny space in a little shopping plaza in a little sleepy town called Dania Beach, Florida, just probably 15 minutes south of where I am now. And it changed my life. And probably what we'll be able to share a little bit later in this show, maybe I'll be able to show you some of my mystical research into precipitation mediumship. And that in particular, through that church and through some of the people associated with the church, I was able to experience in a physical way, spirit producing artistic images and delivering messages through the medium to me that were highly evidential and synchronistic, highly synchronistic. I can't even minimize that. And I received messages from these saintly beings that I was loved, I wasn't a sinner, I was important, I had value, and they were proud of me and they loved the church I'd found. And I had never heard that in a church before. And this church changed my life. And so that's why I am so passionate about sharing and speaking and teaching and doing and everything I do. So it's because I'm a new person. I literally have been reborn into the spirit of metaphysics or this greater spiritual world. So that's my journey in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's amazing because I have a background where I went to church when I was younger, and it wasn't such a great experience, but
No,
I know the metaphysical our churches are so open and welcoming,
oh, so much.
and there isn't that aura of doom and hell and damnation.
Well,
It's
we're
more
love
focused on
based.
the love.
You just said it. We're love based. We're positive based, and a lot of our traditional and Orthodox, or even general churches in general, the Christian churches and the Catholic churches are typically, I hate to say it, but fear based and guilt based and judgment based, and we don't teach those principles because we know those principles are false principles, and Spirit has confirmed that. The angels have talked to us about what is really the religion of God, which is really a life of right doing, of right being, of serving others and loving yourself and finding love in the world. It has nothing to do with judgment and sin. The concept of sin is a grossly misunderstood word. That ancient word sin, from ancient Aramaic, it originally meant that the person has missed their spiritual target. And it came from a word that meant an archer's target. So it meant the bullseye you were shooting for spiritually in your life, you've gone off center, you've missed the target. And so what do? You just get back on the path and you better yourself. And that's exactly what you see when we were made in seminary to study the scriptures. You could see Jesus was not condemning people to hell or mentioning all those things. Jesus was saying, you've sinned, from an Aramaic perspective. He spoke Aramaic. And he said, just get back on the path and just follow a life of righteousness and betterness and kindness and love, and raise your thinking to a state of believing in yourself. Really, Jesus's ministry was incredibly metaphysical. People do not realize that. They just didn't have the word metaphysics back then, but all of the principles were very esoteric, very occult, and that word just means hidden away from the masses, because the Essenes, where Jesus came from, which was a sect of Judaism that was very metaphysical. The Essenes believed in the concept of reincarnation. They practiced meditation constantly, and they also were highly prophetic. They were very much involved with the gifts of healing and the various gifts of spirit, prophecy, communication with spirit, discernment of spirit, exorcisms, things like this. They were very much into the mystical teachings of metaphysics before that word even existed.
Right.
Isn't that
And
interesting?
isn't that interesting, Kevin? Because so many people think that energy healing and all of the different modalities
Right.
of energy healing is like a new concept, right?
Oh,
But you're telling us that
great point.
it's been there. It's been in
Great
place.
point. You
Yeah,
know, so often I hear the word and I don't like the word. They say, "Oh, you're a new age church." You know
right.
what? No, we're not. No, we're not. We may only be my church physically, the structure may only be 40 years old, but we have to understand that metaphysics as a teaching, it is a conglomerate of many different cultures and many different mystical teachings from various world religions compiled together as a philosophy and a way of life and a religious spiritual perspective of living. And so we have to understand that this word new age, it really refers to the 1960s, which was this new way of thinking. And metaphysics is incredibly old because all world religions, hopefully I didn't just hit the wrong button, bear with me as I return back to where we need to be. Okay, can you
You're
still
good.
see? Okay, I touched my computer. So anyway, that word metaphysics, all religions come from metaphysics, because think about this, and we learned this in seminary. Every world religion came forward because of one thing: prophecy, connection and channeling to beings or to a spiritual mind, either directly with cosmic mind, infinite intelligence, whatever we call God, or the angels, or spiritual masters and teachers, these saintly ascended beings. And so we had prophets of old, these shamanistic individuals, but they're more prophetic, right? Prophets of old. And so the prophets connected to this higher consciousness, the higher minds, and brought forward the teachings that built the world religions of their culture and their time. And so all world religions came through metaphysical constructs and channels. And those were quickly pushed to the side for formality and traditionalism and orthodoxy. And the power was kept, unfortunately, in the pulpit, right, with the priests and the rabbis and the imams and the preachers and all these people. And the power of the individual was not celebrated. And so that's what you will probably remember from my church's sermons and our events. We always say the power is not here in the pulpit where I stand. The power is inside of you. The power is you. You are God in expression. You don't need me to pray for you. I will teach you how to pray. I will teach you how to meditate and connect to a higher power, to God, to Goddess, to Wakantanka, to whatever you call that source. And you have to do that work. And so the power is with the individual. And that's what is such a threat now to so many different religious organizations, because people are starting to literally walk out of the church doors, get up out of the pews and go home, and they're starting to find spirituality and metaphysics, which scares them, because it's giving power back to the individual where it always belonged.
It always belonged there. Yeah, absolutely. And it's the same thing with any healing that takes place. It happens inside of us.
It sure does.
It's not like
Word
I
the
can just
healer.
go poof and you're healed. It
Right.
has to come from inside.
And I just said something. I said, we're the healer. Let me
We're the
rephrase that.
healer. Yeah.
We're the vessel. How's that? That's better.
Yeah, I like that.
We're the instrument, the vessel, we're the channel, we're the medium, the source, that antenna that through which divine healing energy channels from God to us as the vessel, the instrument, and through us, and hopefully our channel, our vessel is pure through meditation and all of our self betterment practices, and we allow that energy to flow out of us to our clients, and it comes from God through us to our clients. I'm never the healer. God is the healer. And that energy that flows is a divine, living, very intelligent healing energy. And it knows exactly where to go in the individual to receive the healing. They don't need to tell us where their problems are. That's not the purpose of spiritual healing. So I just wrote a class on that, oddly enough.
Huh. I got chills when you were
Love it.
explaining that, because that was such a great explanation of
Thank
it.
you.
And thank you for that. And, I do Reiki, I do other
Love Reiki.
energy healing modalities. It's all inside that person. That's
Yes.
where the healing takes place.
We are the power. So often I don't have any trinkets laying around. I'm looking for some real quick. But say, for instance, there it is. Say, for instance, this scissors is my pendulum, or is my, some people I know throw bones, or they throw stones or runes, or people have various types of divination tools like old. And so the power is not in my instrument. The power is inside me. I am the key that activates the connection because I'm in the third dimension. So you and I, as healers, and all of our viewers who are healers and intuitives, connecting to a higher power, we're the instrument. And so we hold a power, a resonance that is so close to this third dimensional expression because we're in third dimensional form. And so spirit lowers their vibration from a higher vibrational dimension of life down to closer to ours, and the energy transmits to us in a frequency we can receive as close as we can to our dimension, and then we channel that through to the recipient. So that's kind of how healing energy is downgraded, if that's the right word. I'm just trying to pull something real quick together, but really, spirit speaks about they slow down the vibration of the thought or the energy they send to us. Even spiritual objects, they have to slow down these objects, these gifts they bring us, feathers, coins, crystals. I've heard all kinds of stories, and the objects have to be sped up in order to be brought into this dimension quickly, like a materialization. And that's why a lot of times spiritual gifts are very warm to the touch, because they've literally just transferred from a state of high vibration and high resonance, or their quantum structure is going at such a high frequency. When it enters our dimension, a lower, slower, colder dimension, the objects come through quite warm. And but spirit has to slow down the vibrations to reach us through our mind, and also to connect with us energetically for healing and channeling.
That is so awesome. And yeah, I do channeling messages from the angels, and it's true. It's like there's like a little lag, just like when we go live on
Yes.
social media. There's that lag that where it's being seen out there from what we're actually saying right here on this instrument of Zoom. So it's that same way. It's like there's that lag for it to come in and then to be translated as it goes out. And speaking of warmth, oh my goodness, the angels.
Yeah.
When they come in, let's talk about that. When they come into your energy field, it's like somebody put a heated blanket on me. It's just so intensely warm when they come
Yes.
into our field. And
And what, and beyond the warmth, are there any other bodily sensations that you experience, or maybe mental or psychic impressions? Is there something that happens with you when you know, I've made my connection to the angels or to spirits, and I'm ready to work? What is that for you?
for me, it's right here. My lip just starts to kind of quiver.
Love it.
It's so interesting. It happens every time. And the lip quivers, and I know that they're ready to put those words out. And so
Beautiful.
I just kind of step back. I'm like, okay, you got it. Yeah, but they work in, in that way. I've noticed with other people, I'll see people that channel, and you can just see a difference in their face before the words start to come out of their mouth. And
Wow.
I love that. I love how they're really speaking more through us
Mhm.
humans now, because it's a huge message. And especially at this time,
Mhm.
Kevin, we were having a conversation before we actually went on air about all the stuff that's happening right now, and
True.
what an opportunity this
Incredible.
is. And the
Incredible.
angels are not being quiet. They are
No.
being very vocal about helping us and supporting us, and how that what that looks like. So let's talk about that for a minute.
Absolutely. So, well, one of the things we're doing is we're using we're using a type of virtual reality. We're using software system to broadcast you and I signal out to the world. And so this is now an opportunity where we're able to share the light further out into the world around the planet. And it's an incredible opportunity. We are, many of us, even myself, my hospital job it disappeared into the ethers, and so it forced me to stay at home, especially with our shutdown and shelter policies in our city.
Mhm.
And it made me begin to reevaluate, what do I need to do? What does my community need from me? What could I be doing through this broadcasting system called Zoom with my fellow friends, such as yourself, and with all the others that I've been doing? What can I do to support my colleagues who are intuitives and angel channels and healers and mystics and ministers? What can we do in collaboration? It's beginning to force me to think about What are the new opportunities that Spirit wants me to step into? What door should I open? Because what I've realized is so many people will call and they're so fearful. Are you okay? And is everything going all right? Or are you afraid? And it's amazing they ask me that, but people are literally terrified. And I've heard people on the phone say, "There's someone in my building with the virus. I'm going to die." And
Hmm.
I thought, you really just said that? You
Yeah.
don't even, and they didn't even know who the person was, but they heard they were in the building. And I thought, wow, talk about being in quicksand. They have no clue how to step out of that. And they're so caught up in the fear. But what an incredible opportunity. I'm super excited. This is a forced vacation, and it just makes me slow down. And even though we're connected virtually, it makes me step away more from all this technology and electronics. And it gives me that opportunity to sit in my garden and enjoy coffee, or sit in the garden and enjoy my dinner. Or the other day, I saved a baby bird, a dove that had fallen out of a nest. The whole nest fell. I put it into a bush nearby. The parents came 24 hours later. Reverend Kevin was happy. And it brought me incredible joy, something like that. And I see butterflies and I see bugs and lizards, and I am enjoying my garden. I'm enjoying my home, and I'm enjoying writing. I've been writing 4 chapters for my upcoming book that hopefully will be published next year. And I'm getting things done. This is an amazing time to get prepared. And without taking up so much talk time, let me say this: I have made so many phone calls to prepare myself for the time period after this ends, which I think will be the end of May. I think all of this will slow down and we'll go back to normal by the end of May. But I have been reaching out to churches and New Age centers and stages and conferences so that I can get myself there in 3 to 5, really 3 to 6 months away. And out of maybe 40 phone calls in the last 2 weeks, only 3 people have called to tell me they are not in the office and they're not dealing with this right now. And I thought, what an incredible injustice to your community that you have shut down in fear and you're not willing to at least try to book people. And so we have to remember we've got to go. This is a time of preparation, and it's winter time really. So we've got to be preparing for spring, and that springtime is all the new growth and new opportunities once we move past COVID and coronavirus. So this is a great time to begin planting the seeds for a very near future harvest. Can you still hear me?
I do still hear you. Yeah,
Great.
we had a little glitch with the video there,
That's
Kevin.
okay. It happens.
Yeah,
We'll keep talking and we'll see if we can
yeah,
get the video to come back. I'll work on my end with
absolutely.
the video. So
Yeah.
just mhm,
Yeah, and you're right. It is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us individually to take that pause. And we needed that.
mm,
We needed to really step away, like you were saying, step away and live life.
yes.
Live the life that we're here to live.
Mhm,
And we weren't. There was so much chatter going on that we didn't even know who we were. We didn't know what our path was, or what we were supposed to be doing here on the
right.
planet. We just knew that things weren't going good, and we were all praying for a change. We're going, can we please see more peace in the world? Can we see more gentleness with each other, and
Mhm,
more
mhm,
respect and compassion? So
right.
we actually prayed for that, and look at what's happening. I see it happening.
I love it. That's so true. It's really true. And, I think a lot of people are starting to realize a month in, 6 weeks in, that they really have to reevaluate and reassess what's a priority. Well, what is a priority? What makes me happy is the people that are in my home or the pets that are in our home. Don't we sometimes we may take them for granted, but that's really our family. And so I encourage my students, my congregation, my viewers, spend more time with your loved one, disconnect from the office during the day when you're at home on this, shelter at home policies in many of our cities, and spend an hour walking through the neighborhood if you're allowed to, or go outside in the back of your home and sit in your garden together and just talk, and or prepare meals together outside, or garden together, or take your in-house pets outside if you can, and really just reconnect with nature, begin to talk with nature, begin to I joke and I say, go hug a tree, but there's really something to it because we begin to exchange the energetic field of ourself with that of Mother Nature. We exchange ions with the earth and with the plant kingdom. And it really is an incredible rejuvenatory process. That's why walking on the edge of the ocean is so incredibly peaceful, because the edge of the ocean, where the waves break, has the highest density of ions in the ocean. And it's really fascinating because you can walk through that field and you just feel refreshed, like you've walked through a thunderstorm. Like after a rainstorm, that air is so crisp and electric. That's what it feels like to me, right at the edge of the ocean. I
Hmm.
love that
Me
area.
too. Me too. I always say that's my Zen spot because I love being there in the morning when the sun comes up.
Yes,
That beautiful sunrise that we have on the East Coast.
yes,
And then I love, at night after the sun has set, there's a different energy to the ocean. And both times I just really feel a shift if I'm sitting there or
yes.
walking along the edge. It really does. It really does make a
Beautiful.
difference in our energy.
Wow.
You're
Okay,
back.
man. Awesome. Wonderful. Okay, I wondered. A couple of little, but I kept pushing buttons. It finally worked.
Yay. Yeah, and I really agree with the fact that we're to get back in touch with nature.
Really,
We
it's so true.
Yeah, I'm visiting with a friend. It was amazing because I had planned on being here for a certain event. I came up, and then the stay put orders were all in place, and it's like it's not safe for me to go back to Fort Lauderdale.
I
So
know.
where I'm at here is on the beautiful St. Johns River in Central Florida, and
Mm.
oh, talk about nature. We
Wow.
have we have an osprey family next door
Oh, I
in a tree.
love the
We have
birds.
eagles. We have herons.
Wow.
Just so much nature here. I have an alligator that comes to see me every day.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
And
but they're
it's so funny
so
because we laugh at so many of my friends who come over, and we have in my home, we have lizards and iguanas and all these things running all over the place, and spider webs with beautiful little spiders. I forgot what they're called, what kind they are, orb spinners or something. And we have all kinds of creatures. And I always laugh and I tease my friends when they jump and run. And I say, guys, that's just God smiling at you. And they're like, well, I don't need him smiling at me,
yeah,
but
not that up close.
not that close. But the funny part is, it really is every part of nature that brings you joy and that you find beauty in is God smiling, is God, is really just the movement of divinity through across the planet. This morning I saw a butterfly I haven't seen in probably 2 years, a huge tiger swallowtail, gorgeous butterfly. Oh my gosh. And it came and it graced my little courtyard and then it flew away. In those moments, I always say out loud, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for bringing me a piece of nature that is so incredibly rare and beautiful.
Yeah,
Please bring me more. And if we talk to Spirit, if we talk to the angels or even our loved ones in Spirit who've gone before us, they will bring those opportunities to you more. They'll guide nature to interact with you in a really synchronistic and very symbolic message sort of way. So I'm always talking to the creatures of the wild.
I do the same thing, Kevin, and especially dragonflies.
I love them.
Dragonflies are my messengers.
Oh,
Always when I need something, when I need to hear a
yep,
confirmation or a message, and don't we love
I
confirmations?
love it. I do. I do.
Yeah, the dragonflies show up. And I'm like, and I always talk to them. I talk to everything. I talk to the alligator out in the river.
Oh,
I say good morning to it every morning. So, and the birds, and you just heard the frogs, I think, as they're out in the swamp area right
love
now.
it.
But
Oh,
yeah, it's important to acknowledge. We
it is.
all want to be acknowledged, don't we?
It is. And
The
spirit,
animals are the same.
it's so true. Spirit, I was writing an article about an experience I heard from one of my clients recently. And I was writing this article and talked about how at a funeral, signs from our loved ones that they are with us. And basically, the way the article was written and the story goes was that this young man who died, who'd passed into spirit from a tragic accident, he loved butterflies and especially yellow butterflies. And at the funeral, the family was very remorseful, and the family was really struggling with the experience, and they just wanted to know that he was okay. They were, because of the way he passed, it really upset them. And what happened was, as the minister began to say the sermon at the graveside, and the casket was closed, of course, and then suddenly one of the siblings noticed that there was a couple of yellow butterflies that had flown near them, and suddenly what's called, I didn't know this till recently, the word is kaleidoscope, a bunch of butterflies that were all yellow flew over the casket and just kept fluttering in a kaleidoscope over the casket for 3 or 4 minutes. And then, as the minister said the closing words right at the end, the butterflies dispersed and they went their way. Was that the sun, the soul of the sun in the butterflies? No. But it was the mind, the consciousness of that sun, this in the soul of that sun, influencing the minds of all of those yellow butterflies to come and be present, to tell the family, you guys, I'm right here. I'm okay. Look, there's my sign. That's my yellow butterflies. That's what I love. That you're going to think of me. How incredibly healing is that? And those are
Gosh,
beautiful
yes.
signs from spirit. And there are, oops, and
There
there's
you go.
another
Yeah.
sign. Spirit gave us another sign. It must be Nikola Tesla interacting with our technology today. But it's just a beautiful example of spirit bringing a sign forward that they are with us. And what a beautiful way of doing that. And I wanted to say that in these spirit, there I am, in these spiritual signs, one of the strange things that shocked me and woke me up to the reality of life beyond death, of that life after life principle, the spirit world, and that our loved ones are okay, and that there's these saintly beings who guide us and love us and just want the best for us. Oh, there you go. Um, basically, can you still hear me?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so basically, spirit, I went to an experience where a medium was producing something called precipitation mediumship. And precipitation mediumship is where spirit will take the pigments or the colors that are used inside of a basket or a small container, say a shoebox sized box that has no hole, so no light comes into it, and they dematerialize and they begin to rematerialize. Well, you just lost. I'll do. Let me share the screen for you, and let me show you what I'm trying to show you physically. Can you see that image?
Yes.
Okay, is it big enough?
It is big enough. Yes.
Okay, that whole image materialized out of spirit into a container through the power, and this image materialized. It was a blank white card. The card went into the with these, and let me show you. See if I can show you another one. And also spirit. Let's see. Stop share. And also spirit will produce images such as this. This is called silk precipitation, where images of loved ones and people in the spirit world who are supporting you, they will begin. Can you see that large enough? Is it large
Yes.
enough?
Hmm.
Okay. They will begin to produce recognizable and evidential images of loved ones, even in full color, with flesh tones and hair color and lip color and eye color. And these are just beautiful examples of how will produce, spirit will produce images, writings, even signatures of your loved ones, and those images will materialize onto these cards. And so it truly it shocked me. It shook me to my core, and it made me realize that I was loved and I was supported by spirit. And the picture that I received was a picture from Mother Mary and Father Joseph. And the message from these two saintly figures was the following: we love the church you have found. We guided you there. And if you will stay, you don't have to stay. You have free will. You can leave. But if you stay, you will change the lives of tens of thousands of people. You don't realize the potential you hold. And so I didn't know what they were talking about. But I did know that I had just found this church, and I was actually probably days, if not probably a week or two, from literally leaving the church, because I was afraid that negative things were influencing my soul. The psychic phenomena was not good for me, and I really was just trying to be the best person I could be, and to do right. And so this message from Mother Mary and Father Joseph told me that I was loved, and I was not a sinner, and I was not judged, and that I was in exactly the right kind of church for what I needed. And that just proved to me that I had moved beyond traditional Christian churches, and my soul was elevating, was rising up to a higher level, a higher truth that works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, and I'm so passionate about it because it changed my life. So I just love all this stuff, and that's why I travel and teach and do all that I do. Can you hear me, my dear?
I am hearing you,
Okay.
absolutely. And yeah, I'm right there with you, Kevin. You know, I've always asked for confirmation.
Yes.
I always ask for a
Okay.
sign, and I used to constantly. I was like, God, can you just give me a sign? I just want to know that, what I'm
Yeah.
doing or what I'm feeling is real. Just show me something, And there was
Yeah.
one day when God really proved a point to me that I didn't have to ask anymore. I was writing. It was, I think, one of my latest books that I had was writing, and I went outside to sit,
Yes.
paper and pen. I'm sitting outside, and I didn't ask for a sign that day. It was like, no, I was focused on what I was
Wow.
doing, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a movement, and I looked up, and it was like this flock of birds. They just kept coming over the top of my building.
Wow.
They just kept coming and just kept coming. And I'm looking at her, and I'm going, wow, that's a lot of birds. And then they went right out in front of me up in the sky, and they were flowing in the symbol of the infinity sign,
Oh, how
just in and
perfect.
out, and it was a perfect infinity sign up in the sky. And I just started laughing, and I'm like, God, I didn't ask you for a sign, did I? But there you are, right
I
in front
love
of
it.
me. Yeah. So yeah, so I stopped being so OCD about it and said, okay, I know you're going to show me. I know you're going to tell me and share with me what you want me to know. I don't
Yes.
have to ask. You know? So yeah, we always do like to see things materialize. We like to have
Beautiful.
the feathers. We like to have the coins
Mhm.
and all the different ways that spirit does show us that they're there. Our loved ones show us that they're there.
They sure are. They're always there. It's so wonderful to receive signs from our loved ones in spirit, or even the angels. There are so many times when I will say to spirit, and I just speak generally to spirit, really any of my spirit team, the angels that support me, the saints, my gurus, and I just say, bring me a parrot feather today, and I would love a red color today. And it may take a couple of weeks, but it's the next color I'll find. Or I'll ask for a nickel, and I'll want it to be, I don't really ask for years. Maybe that's really pushing it, but the year of mint. But I will say, bring me a nickel, or bring me a penny, or bring me a wheat penny, or bring me something very particular to show me you're with me and you're listening and you support this venture that I'm going into. So I love asking spirit for guidance and signs, and I really encourage my students and everyone to really just connect and have a relationship with spirit. Spirit is not some ethereal, ghostly thing that just kind of hangs out and checks on us. They literally are there to have a relationship with us and to support us and minister to us and uplift us and open doors for us, and rarely drop these beautiful gifts into our path, little coins and crystals and feathers and beautiful signs and license plates, and just to let us know they're there. And I always say, speak out loud. One of the principles I've learned in all of the different spirit circles that I've been to and been a part of over the years, and the seances I've been a part of, is that spirit does not recognize, they do not all read your mind. Some are trained and can do that because they have the right resonance or frequency and training to do it, but a lot of them cannot read our minds. So I always tell my students, speak out loud and talk to spirit, talk to God, talk to the angels, and tell the spirit world what you want. What is your intention for this evening? What is your intention with this project or this effort, with this client, with whatever you're doing, the healing or the message work? And I guarantee you they will hear you, because when you speak with your voice, you're speaking with your whole being. So you're speaking from your heart, which really, the feeling factor empowers the message and really revs it up. You become in what they say the old Christians would call becoming in one accord with God. Well, really, when you speak with passion and feeling from your heart, you're getting in accord, you're getting in alignment with that higher frequency. And so that's why I always try to speak out loud. Sometimes I don't realize I'm doing it, and friends will catch me and they'll say, "Well, who are you talking to?" And it's just me, all just loving and talking to the angels in spirit. So I do it all the time.
So do I. I talk to them all the time. I hear them constantly. I always have my whole life. My whole life, I've heard them
Oh,
and spoken back to them. Yeah, but I'm so glad that we got on the topic of
thank
the
you.
psychic abilities
Yes.
because Kevin, I think you have a treat for us. Do
I
you not?
do, I do, I do. Okay, so this is what we're going to do this evening. I try to do this as often as I can at my events and my shows and things. So, because I can't do random bingo, what we can do is I want our audience, and I think if I'm not mistaken, you're broadcasting on Facebook. So we hopefully you have you can see in the chat room there who is there and what they're saying, because I want our listeners and our viewers to think of a number between 0 and 100, and I want you to put that number into the chat field for the Facebook Live video that's happening. And from 0 to 100, I'm going to think of a number, got it? And I'm going to be giving away, let's see if I can show this. While I'm talking, I will work with this camera again to quickly get us back up and running. I'm going to be
Oh,
sharing,
so you all need to start putting in the comments right now your number. What is your number between 0 and 100? And Kevin's going to show us
yes.
what the gift is.
Trying to come. There I am. So I'm going to be giving away my Divine Oneness Meditation album. You're going to be able to download this from my website directly from the store. Okay. Time goes. That's okay. And so anyway, you got to see what it was. And that's a teaser. That was a quick tease. But
It
basically, I
was.
want you guys to start putting into the comment field of the live video on Facebook a number from 0 to 100. And then when Teri says that it's been enough time, which is probably about 3 or 4 minutes, just to get everybody's posts, intuitive psychic answers posted, then I will tell Teri the number that I have chosen, and she will help me identify the person, and then we will get you the link so that you can download that for free. Okay, so we'll have to do some communication with the winner, but that should be something fun for you guys. So just let me know, Teri, how things are progressing in your live video if you have access to all that.
I do, and we're live streaming on 2 different places, so I
Perfect.
just went to the other one, and I know we have some people that are starting to put
Good, good,
uh,
good.
their number in that they think that you might be thinking,
Excellent.
so you all can continue to do that.
Excellent. And while they're doing that, um, while they're doing that, what I'll do is I'm going to tell you guys about something very exciting, because today I decided to go ahead and create, and probably it was the angels, because all of a sudden today at 3 p.m., I frantically was at my desk creating a contest. I am giving away, and you guys are the first ones to hear about it. I'm giving away 4 seats to my 4-part angel card reading development course that will be online. It will be in the next 2 weeks. It will finish by May 1st. It will be on Mondays and Fridays. It'll be 3 to 4 hours long every session. And this is probably a $400 value that I'm giving away to 4 different people. Okay. And so I'm going to be announcing that on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel. We're going to put those links into the comment area on Facebook for sure on this live video. And probably Teri, if you could somehow share my website and also share maybe my Facebook page in a post in some way with the videos, so people can find where to sign up to get on the email list and follow, so they can be notified of this announcement. But the deadline is this Friday night at midnight, and viewers will need to create a 30-second video telling me and my staff why you deserve to win, why you need it so bad, why do you need to take this 4-part angel card reading course. And you're going to post that onto your YouTube channel only. And then you're going to place a very unique hashtag that will tell you what to put so I can track you. And then by Friday night, midnight, we'll cut off the submissions. And on Saturday morning, or Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to announce the 4 winners for this contest. So this is a really big deal. I'm super, super excited. And the workshop will actually be limited to a small number of attendees overall so that I can manage and work with this new system of Zoom, doing everything online as opposed to in person in a conference room. So I hope that excites your viewers, Miss Teri.
Oh, it excites me, Kevin. Yeah, that's
Good.
awesome. And for any of you who might have come in after this announcement of what we are doing right now, Kevin is thinking of a number between 0 and 100, and there will be a giveaway with
Yes.
the person who can guess that number or guess closest to that number. And we do have people participating, so
Awesome. Awesome.
we'll give you another minute or so if you want to type the number in. Just feel into it intuitively and see what number Kevin is holding in his mind. I love this. And, there's many ways you can develop your intuitive gifts. And that is one of them, Kevin, is to really feel into the energy and see what comes in. And usually it's like that first thing that you think, right?
Absolutely. That's what spirit and that's what all of our mentors always taught us. Go with the first impression because it was what you were not thinking. And that's the key. We are overthinkers. We overanalyze everything to death, don't we, Teri? I used to do it even worse years ago. I didn't believe in myself. I thought, well, why in the heck is my imagination showing me that? That didn't make any sense. It can't be right. And so what I realized was that this was spirit showing me the very first message I needed to give my audience or my client, and really amazing. So I love the angel cards because it was how I got my wings psychically. And I was, to give someone a message, a psychic message, I was terrified in the beginning that I would say something wrong. It would lead them down the wrong path. Their life would become a misery. And it was all because of my message. Boy, did I overthink things, because really spirit is helping us draw the cards or helping the client draw the card. Spirit is inspiring our mind with these visions and symbology and the understanding. We're recognizing the symbols and the colors and even the numbers within the angel oracle cards. And so I love this course that I've created because I want people to be able to stretch their psychic muscle and flex it, and also just maybe even build a small angel card reading business for themselves. It's extra income for themselves while they are serving the higher potential of another person, the highest and best for another person. You're literally creating a ministry when you develop your psychic potentials.
Yeah, so true, Kevin. I have to fess up here. I have to tell you something
Tell
that
me.
you don't know. Well, if you remember, when I applied to be a reader at
Yes.
your psychic fairs,
Uh-huh.
I had to do a reading for you. There were 2 readings that I was required to do to be a reader, and I love that you do that. I love that you just don't say, "Oh, come on in,"
Right.
that you really see what we're
You
all
do.
about if we're
You want
going
to
to
make
be
sure you're ready.
representing. Exactly.
Right.
And I did a reading for you. Kevin, that I was shaking. That was the most
Bless
that
your
was the
heart.
most intimidating thing that I had to do, psychically, because I knew my gifts. I knew I was confident in my gifts, but I'm like, this is the senior minister.
Oh, how amazing. That's so funny to hear you say that. I've been there. I've been there. And, but we do it because, I take my community and the public is paying for this experience, and we want them to get their money's worth. And actually, I don't want my young intuitives to be horrified because a customer tells them off for not delivering a proper message, an ethical message, or maybe their delivery techniques are so poor and disconnected that the customer feels like they've made a poor investment. And I don't want the customer to walk away feeling as they didn't receive, or they weren't guided, or that this was all fake. And I don't want my poor young intuitives to also be beaten up by the customers. So I'm really protecting both parties in doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great. I really do. It was just, the idea of reading for you because I know how powerful your psychic gifts are. And
Oh,
I was like, okay, Spirit, you just got to take all that thought away out of my mind. And that's what we have to do when we're working with uh, bringing a message forward. We have to let go of the ego for sure and just feel into the spirit part of it.
I love it. Well, Miss Terry, so I will tell you, the number that I have chosen is number 66. And so I want you to see if you can look on both channels and let's find who that person was and we'll get in touch with them. And I'm going to be placing definitely on the live feed on the Facebook page right now. I'm putting in ways for you to subscribe and follow and like and get on my email list. And it's going to be in the comment section of the Facebook Live video. And it's also going to talk about this contest. And that information will be on my YouTube channel, and they'll need to search for the contest video. Actually, I'll just go ahead and make it the primary video for my channel. And I want people to really try for this because this is an incredibly rare opportunity, probably over 13 hours of time that I'm going to put into this course that I will be giving to 4 people. It's a very rare opportunity, but I'm doing this to be supportive during this challenging time. A lot of people have lost their jobs, and I just thought it would be. It's all about the law of giving and receiving, the law of reciprocity, and as Spirit always and the angels always say, we reap what we sow. And if I'm willing to give away, it will come back to me tenfold. So that's why I'm doing something fun like this.
Oh, Kevin, you're amazing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for that. And yes, absolutely. We will be putting the information out with this video. And also when it goes out on Angel Heart Radio, which it goes far and wide on there. We broadcast over iTunes and Spreaker and all kinds of avenues of
Wow,
Angel
that's
Heart
amazing.
Radio. So we will put all that information out and how to
Fantastic.
contact you, all of your social media and your website. And we have really, really good news because I've been writing down the numbers, and our darling Gerald Ann Heatherdale is the recipient of this MP3.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, congratulations. You said the name was Gerald, right?
It's Gerald, Jeryl.
Okay.
Gerald.
Fantastic, Gerald. Well, congratulations. And I will be getting in touch with you. So Terry and I will probably do a little back and forth communication. We'll track you down and we will send you to my website, revkevinlee.com. And I do want to share with your audience real quick. I have an amazing a free offer because myself and another wonderful practitioner, an angel intuitive, a medium, a public speaker who is dynamic, has a very big following in the country. His name is Elias Petras. He's from Chicago. And this Saturday at 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be teaching a course, well, I just my course. Let me see if I can find the exact name real quick because the screen just changed. But basically, the course is this Saturday, and it's basically about self-love during challenging times. How can we work together with the angels, work together to bring forward a state of loving ourselves during challenging times or even during crisis? And so this presentation is really a workshop, and Elias and I will be, and I'll put that into the Facebook post as well, and you can copy that where you would like. But we're going to be basically teaching you how to rethink crisis, challenge, and the dark clouds in your life, and also begin to remember we got to start loving ourselves because we can't change the world until we start changing ourselves. We've got to change our mind to begin to change our lives. And the brighter we become, the higher our resonance and frequency, then the easier it is to basically just shine to other people. And we become the example that lifts other people up. So that's really what this is all about. And it's a totally free hour-and-a-half workshop on loving yourself during challenging times. And that'll be this Saturday, April 18th, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time till 12:30 p.m. Okay, so everybody's invited.
Oh, that's awesome. And Kevin, I just want to share with you the person who received the gift from you here on the show.
Yes.
She is a newly ordained reverend.
Oh, congratulations, Reverend.
Reverend Gerald Ann Peterson is the official name.
Beautiful.
And yeah, she's a beautiful person. So I'm so happy that she received this gift.
Oh,
She
congratulations.
is thrilled. She put in a note of thanks to you.
Absolutely. You're going to enjoy that album. That album is was amazing. I went to a professional studio. I hired a professional team. I did it right. And I channeled it. The stuff poured out of me. I guarantee you the angels helped me because when I sat there and looked at my paper, my pen and paper, I use pen and paper to write, old school. And I thought, holy moly, where did this come from? It just poured out of me, and it was to remind people the potential inside of them and to give you exercises on connecting to the white light, the power of breathing and moving the chakras, and just the I am presence. And it was amazing. And a very dear friend who came with me to the studio, my vocal coach, who's also an incredible singer and musician, he channeled the music for the album, and that was a blessing. It was given to me for this album as a gift. And so it literally is 100% channeled album, and it's truly a unique album. I think people are going to be amazed with it.
Wow, that is so awesome. So yes, I will definitely get the information from you of how she can download
Marvelous,
that
marvelous.
album.
Congratulations, Reverend Gerald.
Yay.
Love that.
Oh my goodness, Kevin, I'm looking at the time. How did this hour go by so fast?
You're so easy to talk to.
Oh, thank you. So are you.
Thank
And
you.
I know there's going to be more of having you on our show, and hopefully we'll
Yes.
have the video fixed by then so that
Yes, we will. I'm not
we
worried. We
see your
will.
wonderful face. I just really so enjoy your energy. You are
Thank you.
amazing, and
Thank
all
you.
the things
Thank
that you're
you.
putting out there, the lessons that you are teaching of love.
Thank
That's what I really enjoy, that you are so heart-based and heart-centered.
you. Yes.
I want to thank you. And so I wanted to ask, how do people reach you? What would be the best
Absolutely.
website address for them to go to?
Absolutely. So the two best ways to find me on Facebook, they can go to my personal page, which is facebook.com/Rev, R-E-V, Kevin Lee. And they can also find me through my church page on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Metaphysical Chapel. And of course, our website is metaphysicalchapel.com. And also the my personal ministry website is revkevinlee.com. So super easy. And all of these links will be put into the live video on Facebook in the comments section for you to find. I've already posted them there. And I just thank all of our listeners and the viewers just for being a part of this amazing experience. And thank you for your patience with the technology during these challenging times. You know, that's not anything to worry about. We know that the vibration of love that spirit brings through me, I know it was received, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity this evening.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. You're so appreciated. And yes, we will get all of that information posted out with everywhere the video will be posted online, and bring people to know what you are all about. And I hope that that's what this show has given people a glimpse of, is the wonderful ministry that Kevin does. Thank you to all who listened. I'm on Monday nights with Speaking with Angels on Angel Heart Radio. And so come hang out with me for an hour and be blessed. And I hope that all of you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you may be. And Kevin, don't go away, because I want to talk to you about some more
Absolutely.
opportunities for you to come and be with us at Enlightened World Network as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you again. Any closing words for our audience, Kevin?
No, just remember, ladies and gentlemen, that so many of our communities during the shutdown and shelter in time, many of our spiritual centers and centers of light, the doors may be closed, but remember, the leaders in your community, their hearts are always open. Their telephones are available. Their direct messages are available. So if you need a little bit of extra support in your life, it behooves you. It's your personal responsibility to reach out to your leaders and your healers in your community and ask for the love and the healing and the support that you need, because we all have free will and cannot be gone against. And so we want to encourage you to reach out to those leaders to support you, and they will.
Beautifully said. Thank you, my friend.
You're
Love
welcome.
and blessings
Love
to
and
everyone
blessings to
out
you all.
there. And I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.